Well, it's always exciting for us to watch our guests, whether it be performers, entrepreneurs, or authors, find success in their fields. Returning to our author spotlight is Amy Impellizzeri. Her third novel and newest novel, The Truth About Thea, is available now. I love this book.
Thank you.
I love this book.
Thank you so much.
For those who don't know the history, Amy and I go back. We're college buddies, sorority sisters, so I hope we don't go off on a tangent here. We have to start with what the premise of this book is about, because it's a little bit different from the other ones that you've shown on the show. I love it. It's great. So go for it. Tell us.
Thank you. So it opens with a woman who is on trial, and ultimately she gets an expert to say that she's actually addicted to social media and creating false identities. And that expert report, actually, the judge ends up using that to persuade the parties to plea bargain. And so she ends up in rehab for social media addiction, and that happens right from the beginning of the book, so I haven't given anything away.
Right.
But she encounters a counselor who is a recovering heroin addict turned renowned counselor, and he's all about truth, and yet he is living a lie. He, 20 years earlier, had to fake his own death with the help of his then pregnant wife to escape from under his drug dealer and his drug dealing buddies. And so now the two of them meet and are on sort of a collision course, and that's when the story begins.
And that's only the beginning of the twisted details of everything. I had this book on vacation because you gave it to me, and it was so exciting. Okay, and it's not much of a departure from what you previously were, because you were an attorney. You were a lawyer.
Yeah, I was an attorney I was a corporate litigator for 13 years. And actually, when I transitioned gradually to novelist, people would ask me, why don't I write more legal fiction or crime fiction? But I was a civil lawyer, and I always said, that's not really sexy. That's not really the stuff of novels. But I did do a lot of expert work, and so I got this idea that I could pull from my litigation career. And again, it's set in a criminal trial, which is not what I practiced, but the idea of an expert report sort of shaking things up was very familiar to me.
Yeah. Now you do have a really cool special announcement centered around this book. Share that.
So Francis Ford Coppola Winery has just started a new gift called Books and Bottles. It's a curated box of wine and playlists and recipes and fiction exclusively from the Tall Poppy Writers, which is a writing group that I'm part of, a fabulous group of women writers. And The Truth About Thea is their inaugural selection, alongside one of two inaugural selections, alongside my dear friend Anne Garvin's book, I Like You Just Fine When You're Not Around, which is a fabulous title. And so our two books are the choices for the holiday selection from Francis Ford Coppola Winery.
That's super exciting.
Yeah, we're going out to Sonoma next week to celebrate with 2 days of launch parties, and it
sounds like a shame.
Really going to be fun.
Hey, quickly tell us about why you enjoy writing a psychological thriller. Just have a few minutes left, so tell us why.
Yeah, it is not a huge departure for me, because my earlier novels, I think one thing my novels all have in common is they build to a big reveal, a big twist, and so this wasn't a huge departure for me, but I loved it.
That's awesome. Well, listen, we need to tell everybody to just make it a good day. PA, thanks for watching.
Thank you.